Good morning and happy day one of the historical romance readathon. I technically started my book last night, so I'm currently reading Devil in Spring by Kleypas. This is book 3 in the Ravenel series. Like I mentioned in my TBR video, it's going to be really hard not to binge through this series. I'm obsessed. I love it so much. So this book is Pandora and, what's the hero's name? Garrett? Anyways, he is like the rakiest rake I've ever read about, ever. And she is a very unconventional gal who does not want to be married. She wants to create board games and have her own company and thrive on her own because she sees marriage as being property and that her husband will take away everything. And these two are currently hanging out for the week because in the beginning of the book they were caught in a compromising position. Now they weren't doing anything, but she was trying to help a friend, and the guy who was throwing the ball walked in on him and told on her, and so now he has to propose. So it's really good. I'm having such fun with this series. Like I said, it's gonna be really hard to pull away. So that's what I'm reading today. Hopefully I'll get a good chunk through it today so I can move on to a different non-Ravenel book. Wish me luck. It's gonna be really hard. Hey, it's later in the day. I didn't get any reading done. It was super busy today. With the coronavirus going on, I do social media and digital marketing for an insurance company, so we were very busy. But right now I'm going to clean my daughter's room. It is a mess, no judgment. I'm gonna clean her room and watch some booktube. So okay, here's a quick after. It's still a little messy, but I need a vacuum, but I'm done for the day. So I got some YouTube videos in. I need to edit a video, but honestly, my leg hurts. I think I got a scorpion sting yesterday. It was super itchy, and then now it's swollen and it hurts so bad. The swelling has gone down. I've been icing it all day. So yeah, I'm dealing with that on my leg. It really hurts. So I think I just want to lay down and read. Take a bath and read maybe. I'm not sure if I'll get to editing tonight, but I'll check in once I get some more reading in. Happy day 2 of the readathon. So last night I got a couple chapters in. I'm pretty sure I'm about halfway through, and the plan is to finish Devil in Spring by Kleypas today at work. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up next. I brought a couple of the physical books I have to take Instagram photos today. But yeah, that's about it. I'm super sore. My scorpion sting hurts so much. It's bad enough to see a scorpion, but it hurts like hell to have the sting, and it's creepy as fuck to know that I was stung by one but didn't see it. Like the sucker got away. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. It hurts so bad. It feels like the muscles hurt. Like it feels like I have a really bad pulled muscle, but it's concentrated in this like little ball area on like the lower side of my calf. Also, my my allergies are really bad. I live in Austin and we have one of the worst allergens in the United States. So that's really fun because a lot of the allergy symptoms are coronavirus symptoms. And so my husband is like convinced that he has the coronavirus because he has a sore throat. But he doesn't take allergy medicine. I keep telling him, take some allergy medicine. So that's also fun. I hope quarantine is going great for everyone. Hey, it's after work. I've just been sitting in my car watching YouTube videos. It's like 6:20. So that was interesting. Finally got the go ahead. We are working from home for the rest of the week. So yay for that. I'm kind of anxious. I haven't worked from home ever before. But today was also very busy, but I did get a few chapters in. So I'm now about 70% of the way through A Devil in Spring, or Devil in Spring by Lisa Kleypas, book 3 in the Ravenels series. I really like it. I think it's really sweet. But I do agree with some reviews I've seen where it's kind of weird. So Pandora is very eccentric. She's very childlike. She's 21, but she was raised very sheltered, but it's also just how her personality is. She's very unique. She makes up words. She likes to ask a lot of questions. She likes to engage. She reads disapproving books. So there's a lot of things that I love that about her, but her relationship with Gabriel, there's a lot of words used where he calls her girl, and it's like, oh, my little sweet, and it just pulls me out a little bit because it just kind of, he treats her like a little child. Not always, but he's very, I don't know, it kind of seems like he's attracted to the fact that she acts so childish. And then there's also a lot of terms used for him that he's so mature for his age. So he's 28, she's 21. Not a huge age gap, but there's just a lot of adjectives used in the book that portray Pandora as a child, a girl, and a lot of adjectives used to describe him as mature for his age, and stuff like that. So that's kind of like pulling me out from fully obsessing over the relationship. I do like it. I like that it was one of those scandalous marriage of conveniences. She was in the wrong place at the wrong time. They got caught. They spent the week together to get to know each other. Another thing I don't love, and I've seen this in the past 3 books, is that we don't get the full wedding scenes. So it's kind of like it jumps ahead like a couple weeks or a couple days, and then it goes back and talks about moments of the wedding. So you don't see it in real time. You get it as kind of flashbacks, and you just get little pieces of it, which I get if there's a lot going on. But really, there's no other side plot going on in this book. It's really just those two getting to know each other. And then, will they or won't they get married? And then Pandora pursuing her board game career. And that's about it so far. So the fact that we didn't get to see the wedding on page, it's kind of a bummer. So far, this is definitely a 4-star read. In order of enjoyment, I love. It's like a new favorite romance book. Marrying Winterborn is my favorite, then probably this one, Devil in Spring, and then third would be the first book, which is Cold Hearted Rake. I just didn't really buy into that relationship at all. But, so that's a little update on my current book. I want to finish tonight. I want to start one of my physical books. I think I'm going to start Hearts of Flame by Johanna Lindsey, the group read next, but I still need to edit my video, and it's like 6:30, so I probably won't get to start that until tomorrow. There's just not enough hours of the day. I can get through a lot of these historical romances pretty fast, but with everything that's going on, it's just a lot of extra stress, and work going on, but I still want to try to read all the books I have in my TBR. And if I don't make it through Sunday, I'm going to try to read them anyways. It also like just downpoured for a good minute and stopped. So the rain is going crazy too. Okay, I'm rambling. I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, so it's like 2 weeks later or something. It's March 31st. I thought I filmed more in clips, but let me wrap up this vlog. So, a couple days later, I believe I eventually finished A Devil in Spring during the readathon. I said most of my thoughts in the last clip still hold true. However, I will say the climax was surprising. It did something I didn't really see coming, which I've seen. I've been surprised by all the climaxes so far in this series, which is really exciting. And it set things up really nicely for the next book in the series. So I gave it 4 stars overall. Really enjoyed it. So then I did start Hearts of Flame by Johanna Lindsey. This was the group book for the historical romance readathon. I chipped away at this. So I read like a few chapters throughout the readathon, and I didn't end up finishing it during the readathon, but I finished it, you know, a few days ago. And this one I didn't know what it was about. So this is book 2 in like a family saga trilogy. The first book was about this girl's parents. Book 2 is about the daughter, and book 3 is about one of the brothers. So this is book 2. So this is about a daughter of a Norwegian trader merchant, and he grew up as a Viking, and his wife was a Celtic slave, and she was a slave turned free woman and became his wife. So this is their daughter, and she ends up sneaking on to her brother's ship because she wants to find a husband. She's not interested in any of the men in her village, and she wants to go on an adventure, and she wants to find her husband outside of Norway. So she sneaks on the ship, and her brother is not going on a merchant run. He's going on a raid, a Viking raid. And they go to this land. I'm not sure. I can't remember where they're at. And they go to raid a church, but they get invaded by the people there, and a bunch of them die. Her brother being one of them. And most of them get captured, and they are slaves. So the love interest is a Saxon lord, and he's not like the lord of that land, but he's like a high up in the king's army or something. This is like medieval, so I don't know all the terms for medieval romance, but he's high up. The main girl here, Kristen, she's disguising herself as a man so that she doesn't get raped because she's a female. And so for a long time they think she's a man, and they finally discover that she's a woman, and the relationship between her and Royce goes from there. I end up giving it 3 stars. I liked it. Captive romance is hard to read sometimes, and this is like an older book, so I really like the female character. She was very strong and smart and never like bent or changed her values or did anything. She was herself, true to herself the entire time. The hero was bland. There really wasn't much to him, minus the fact that he was this big burly man who hated crying women, basically, and he was attracted to her because she was very strong and never cried, and that was about all there was to him, honestly. So the heroine shined in this book. The beginning and the end were very exciting and very interesting. The middle was very dull. It was very repetitive. It could have been a lot shorter. This is 350 pages. It could have been 250 easily, I feel. And then obviously it was just kind of sluggish to read because of the dialogue. And the way it was written was just kind of hard to get through quickly. I still eventually did get through it. This was my first Johanna Lindsey read. I do plan to read more from her. She's a big staple in the romance community. It was about how I expected it would be, maybe a little bit better based on captive romance from the 80s. It still wasn't that bad. So a little update on my scorpion sting. So after, I think it was like day 2 of it, I noticed another mark below it, and so it turned out I had 2 scorpion stings, a big one and a small one below it. And oh my god, like it hurt so bad. So it took like a full week for it to heal. It's fine, like the marks are just finally going away. The pain and the swelling went away after a week. One of the worst things I've experienced. It was like it hurt so bad that I was like limping. So it wasn't just like, ow, my leg hurts. It affected my whole body and my well-being. And obviously it happened during the beginning of the isolation and coronavirus in the United States. So at least that's gone. So while I was chipping away at this, I was like losing my reading mojo. So I started watching some shows, but I wanted them to still be like historical. So I watched The Duchess and oh my god, this was so depressing. I do not recommend it, especially if you're not in a good headspace. No happily ever after. Lots of rape and horrible things. I thought it would be a cute happily ever after romance with a little bit of drama. There was seriously like not one happy thing happened in that movie, so don't recommend that. Even on a good day, it still really wasn't that good. So after that, I immediately watched Kate and Leopold. I've never seen this before, and it was so good. It was so cute. Time travel, historical, modern day romance. When like a lord who needs to find a wife because otherwise he'll lose funds, or he's losing funds, he comes to New York and he gets sucked into a time hole, and he's in like modern day New York, and just falls in love with a modern gal, and it was so sweet and I loved it so much. It was the best pick-me-up just for my mood, and a pick-me-up after watching The Duchess, because seriously, so depressing. And then I started binging Harlots. This is a Hulu original. This is like 18th century London, and it follows these 2 like warring brothels. It's really good. It is more like, it is very dramatic, and there is a lot of like borderline rapey, actual rape things, consensual, you know, just things that can happen with brothels and women of that time. But it is still really fun and spunky and a good medium between, I guess, kind of like the 2 movies. So I binged the first season, and while I was watching this, I had to make this blanket for my daughter. She got this for Christmas, and it was like a kit. And so it's like one of those tie blankets, and then like these are just stickers. But there's, I don't know how many of these little squares, and each of the little strings, there's a bunch of them, and they're small. This sucker took like 5 hours to make, and I'm not exaggerating at all. This thing took forever to make. So while I was watching Harlots, I was trucking away at this so that my daughter could put the stickers on. And then went on a major like movie binge with my husband. I'm not gonna list all the movies I watched. There was seriously like one day where we just watched movies all day. It was really fun. As of right now, I got my reading mojo back. But sometimes that happens. I just need to take a break from reading. Plus with, you know, just the climate of everything, I'm getting used to working from home. I'm still working from home. I'm getting better into a routine. I found that going outside really does help, at least going for a walk really improves my mood. My family and I, we went for a long walk about a week ago. And since that, I just felt rejuvenated, and I've been trying to go outside every day. I went for a walk today, and it really just does help my mood and just helps in general. And I know it kind of seems like a obvious thing, but I spend a lot of my time, I'm a homebody. I enjoy being at home, but it's totally different than spending a weekend at home and then going back to your work week when you do leave the house and work and go outside and do your routine things. It's way different than staying at home socially and then with your family and then also working from home and like literally never leaving the house. So if you're feeling in a rut like me and you haven't gone outside, try going outside for a walk. It might help. Or, you know, watching trashy television. That did help too. So that wraps up my historical romance readathon. I wanted to read a whole lot more. I am reading all the books that were on my TBR. So I have since read and finished Tempest by Beverly Jenkins. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I loved it. I give it 5 stars. And I'm almost done with A Texan's Luck by Jodi. After that, I'll just have one more book, I believe, that for my TBR. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you so much for watching. Now that I'm feeling better, hopefully I'll get back in the swing of making more videos. Social media and information are down below if you want to be friends on other places. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. I read romance, science fiction, comic books, and horror mostly. I'm getting into like a horror mood, so you may see more of that, even though I have a lot of sci-fi books checked out that I need to read for SFF, booktube SFF, you know. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Bye.